Hi everyone. I'm still at the hospital. Um, just before I started streaming, my wife called. Well, she didn't call. She texted that she couldn't. Yeah, it's weird. She couldn't control the lights in the home. We have a home that is set up with Home Assistant and Z-Wave and everything, and we can say, "Hey Google, turn on the lights" or "Turn off the lights." Um, And I may have triggered something on your side because I did say it, say the trigger word. But yeah, things were not working right, and I think the problem is that the lady who comes to feed the cats has tried to control the lights the usual way by turning the button on it and not asking Google to turn on or off the lights. Um, yeah, that's a problem. I tried to help, and I think I helped, but I don't know that it's all resolved. Um, that's the cost of technology, I guess. Yeah, it's a bit weird right now because I have the sun over there, and it does shadows on my face. Um, all right. Let's see the news. Um, well, the news are bad. um, Timmy over here. I think I called him Timmy. I never remember what name I gave him. Timmy still has only one shoe to face cancer. He's not going to be very well equipped uh, if it stays this way. Um, but if you give money, then he's going to get more clothing. The clothing is here. Going to get more clothing, and you're going to be able to uh, prepare him for fighting cancer. Uh, Let me check something. My wife wrote something.
Hello.
Hi, I'm streaming right now.
Oh, okay. I'm just bringing your new nurse for
Oh,
tonight.
okay.
I'm putting this over here for you.
Okay, so
Look, it's all right here.
the shift change is happening.
It'll be all right here for you.
Oh, the pencil, marker should be on the top shelf,
Huh?
I think. Just in front of you, the shelf with the.
Okay.
Found it.
All right. See you later.
Thank you. Um, yeah, just give me a second. I'm gonna go close the door because I like to have the door closed. Thank, thank you. Yeah, okay. Um, yeah. So where was I? Oh yeah, I was checking something that my wife wrote. And the news. So yeah, last night was a special night for me. Um, up to last night, so from the 18th to the 21st. Yesterday was the 21st. I've been constipated. I don't know why. It could be the drugs that they're giving me. At home, I go every day. There's no problem. But here, I was constipated. But last night, it started coming out. So, and the nurses wanted to do a stool sample for checking. I guess they check for possible bacterial problems in the gut because they may need to give me some antibiotics at some point. So I called them after I did my thing, They came, they took the sample, they disposed of the rest. Then I think about around 11 o'clock, my gut was rumbling quite a bit, and I decided to go to the bathroom, and the floodgates opened. Uh, I produced enough to plug the toilet, and I had to call services to. Well, I called the nurse basically. The nurse called services to come and take care of the problem. Um, and after that, um, I had a little accident with my underwear, and I decided that it was prudent at this point to just forget the underwear and wear diapers. I've worn diapers for my first chemo, my methotrexate chemo. I wore diapers at some point. I didn't at first, but as as the it was progressing, I just started wearing diapers because the chemo does something to you. I don't know what it does, but it's hard to distinguish what may be coming out of your rear end when you're on chemo. So I decided to have diapers at that time, and I bought enough diapers that I can have more for this chemo. And let me check. I'm gonna go check my notes. Yeah, now I'm still on the 6 hour. Every 6 hour, I need to take a shower, and my last shower is gonna be tonight at midnight because we go noon, 6, midnight, 6, noon, etc., etc. So the last shower I'm gonna take is gonna be tonight at midnight, and after that I'm gonna be freer than I am. I'm not gonna be free yet because my immune system is compromised by the stem cell transplant. But I'm gonna be freer. I won't have to shower every 6 hour, and I won't have a ton of clothing to give to my wife to wash and bring back to so that I can be dressed in my own clothes and not in the hospital gown. And one thing that surprised me today is there were two nurses at the door, and they were complimenting me how I was a trooper and I was doing the right thing and all the things they were telling me, and they were saying that sometimes people come over and they don't want to do the 6 hour showers. They're waking up in the middle of the night and they grumble and they don't want to do it. And I assume that that causes problems eventually. If you don't do it, because the drug they're giving me for the chemo, Tio, I don't remember the name. Um, the drug they're giving me is excreted by the skin and it gets on your skin and it can cause lesions and problems. But my attitude is always the doctors have my best interest at heart, usually. Sometimes there are exceptions, but usually they have my best interest at heart. The nurses too, and I'm going to do what they tell me to do. There can be sometimes disagreements about what the best course of action is, but I know nothing about the drug they're giving me. I mean, I've read the literature, but I'm not a specialist. If they say you showers every 6 hour, then you shower every 6 hour, and that's it. Um, and so far, so good. I don't have any lesions. I don't have marks on my body. I have a little bit of redness over here around the place where the dressing is, but I'm thinking that's probably a mechanical problem and not a an issue of the toxicity of the drug or an allergy. I think the problem is that I use a tattoo protection for my dressing. And normally, when you do that, you put the if you do a tattoo, you put the plastic on the tattoo, and it stays there for a while. Whereas in my case, every 6 hour I have to add a new layer and then remove it, and then add a new layer and then remove it. I guess I could just leave it there, but I don't know. Uh, it seems iffy. So I add it and I remove it, and I think just the action of removing it so often is enough to create a light redness around the dressing. Let me check again my notes. Oh yeah, so something I forgot to mention yesterday. Well, I began yesterday and finished today. Yesterday, I there's a notary that came in my room and she took my will and my durable power of attorney, and she notarized them and had witnesses sign on it. I don't think I'm gonna die here, but my will was way out of way obsolete. It still had my mother in it, and my mother has passed away, so there was no point in having her in there. And also the grandkids. My wife and I have four granddaughters. They were not in the will at all. Their parents were, but not them. So I updated the will, the durable power of attorney, and today the advance directive, the social worker came and it just needed two witnesses, and he came, he got his witnesses, uh, and made a copy that is going to be kept at the hospital here. Uh, so if the worst happens, they have the documents. Some people online have, I don't know, this notion that you tend to fate when you do your will or advance directives and stuff like that. But I don't believe that. Uh, what happens happens, and I don't want my family to be bearing the burden of me not having the foresight of, of having a goodwill and an advance directive and a durable power of attorney, because people can get into pretty deep trouble if they don't do anything. Uh, the law is going to do some default things with what you have. If you have nothing, then I guess you don't need a will. But if you have something, they're going to do whatever the default is, and you cannot say anything about it. You don't have any choice because you're dead. uh, and your loved ones also don't have much to say about it if you don't. If you're, I think the term is intestate. If you don't have a testament, then there's nothing they can do. Um, so yeah, I decided that I should do it, and I should also sit with my wife and redo her will and her stuff and reprint it and notarize it and everything. Um, but we haven't done it yet. There's so many things that happen in a day, and she prefers to do her crafts and think about wills, so it hasn't been done yet. But mine has been done. And let me check my notes again. Oh yeah, with the sleep over here, It's pretty good. Well, the first few nights were a little rough, but the last night was good, and I went to bed pretty early because I knew I was going to have to get up at midnight to have a shower. So I think it was maybe 8:30 or 8 when I went to bed last night. So I had time to sleep before the shower, and I had time to sleep after the shower. And here they don't give me CPD, of course. I don't know why, but they don't. Could be prejudice against anything that has to do with hemp. Um, but they do give me Ativan at night when I want to sleep, and that does the job well enough to allow me to have a good night of sleep here. When I go home, I'm gonna go back on to the CBD, and hopefully it's gonna work like it worked before. Uh, let's see. For I'm looking at my schedule now on the wall, and my schedule for tomorrow is going to be again a rest day. I've had two rest days already. Yesterday, today. Tomorrow is going to be a rest day. I like to call them days on which you discover what side effects you're going to get from the chemo roulette. Because well, that's pretty much what it is. Last night I discovered that I had diarrhea. I haven't had any more diarrhea today. Maybe it's gone. I don't know. I still wear the diapers just in case I need I need it. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be another rest day, and then on Thursday they're supposed to give me my stem cells back, and apparently that's pretty anticlimactic. Um, they just come with a couple bags of the stem cells they took from me, and then they re-inject them into me, and I may smell something or because there's a preservative in the system, uh, but it shouldn't be a big problem. And yeah, for the side effects, um, I it's a bit bizarre. I thought it would be worse than it is, but maybe I'm gonna have a surprise tomorrow or the day after. Right now, I'm feeling pretty good. Apart from the diarrhea, I haven't vomited. Um, I'm not. I'm not currently losing my hair, but I've been told that it's gonna happen. Um, it may take a week before the hair starts falling off. Um, but right now, it's pretty steady. Uh, and yeah, I thought it would be worse than it is right now. Maybe I'm just doing all the things they told me to do, and that keeps me safe. And I take my drugs. I take my showers. And maybe enough to take care of a lot of problems. And there's also age because I'm younger than most people. I think that get cancer. Although there are people who are younger than I am, and I've mentioned before that when I read their stories, I tear up sometimes um, because it is tough on people. It is tough on the young ones. But for primary CNS lymphoma, I'm young. People who get that usually are in their 60s or 70s, and it's possible that age is playing in my favor. Uh, so yeah, I'm curious to see what else is coming up for me. So far, I'm in the hospital. It's not fun being in the hospital, but it's not terrible. Um, maybe it's just gonna be a bad dream, as some people have told me that one day I'm gonna get out of here and the stem cell transplant will have been done and there will be no trace of disease and I'll be able to go on with my life. That's the hope. That's the hope that my oncologist had at Johns Hopkins. That's the hope that my oncologist has here. And that's my hope, and I guess it's the hope of those who love me. That I'm just going to be able to move on with my life, and this will have been just a bad episode. So I guess I've gone around everything tonight. I don't know if there's anybody in chat. I don't see anybody in chat. Uh, so I'm gonna end the stream here and say goodbye. And probably gonna have another stream tomorrow for my last rest day. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. If nothing happens really, I mean, a lot of the stuff that should happen has happened. So, and if my health doesn't change tomorrow, I may not stream for that day because I'm not gonna have anything to say. I might just put a message on Twitter saying no stream tonight, everything's fine. But we'll see. I could have more surprises. So I'm gonna say goodbye and see you some other time.